we're back with an update on the Super City Girl Mayor.
Super Mayor! Hey, to me and you.
I told you before that she's been targeting anybody who didn't support her, including citizens, business owners, employees, colleagues, other elected officials. Well, WG in Chicago sat down with two people. One of them filed a lawsuit. We're going to get into that, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and don't forget to turn on all of your notifications so you never miss any of my updates here. Won't waste any time, let's go ahead and get into it.
WGN investigates a town in turmoil. A South Suburban mayor accused of using police to target her political opponents.
Investigative reporter Ben Bradley has the story.
For decades, the Shaw brothers ran politics in and around South Suburban Dalton. Their antics were legendary, but now there's a new leader in town. She calls herself the People's Super Mayor, but that's not how some of the people would characterize her leadership.
Yeah, the People's Super Mayor is the name she gave herself, but I gave her the name of the Super City Girl Mayor, so that's her name, aka Teflon Tiff, aka Teflon Tahoe Tiff. Tiffany Tahoe, whatever you want to call her. But ma'am, you are not the Super Mayor. More like super out of order.
Super Mayor! Hey, to me and you. Fake news.
68, show me 23.
The night of June 10th, police arrived at this truck yard in Dalton, owned by Lawrence Gardner.
How are you?
I don't know. I was doing good till you got here.
The reason police responded depends on who you ask. In this report, officers said it was for an ordinance violation for hosting a group of bikers at his business without a license. But Gardner has a different take.
Okay.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Well, so here we go.
He says he's been repeatedly harassed for not supporting Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
We taking care of all the business, right? All the business.
You can't stop me from closing my gate.
Last time I'm gonna say it, sir.
Okay.
Please stop.
I'm not.
Okay.
The standoff that night ended with Gardner in handcuffs.
I'm tired of them. They've been harassing me for months and months and months.
Have a seat, please, sir.
And charged with misdemeanor obstructing an officer.
How does that matter to you?
With the gate. It's all on body cam, no big deal.
The charge eventually dropped. Case closed, right? Not quite. Gardner claims the harassment continues.
And all of this is because he is not in support of the mayor. Mr. Lawrence Gardner, he spoke out against Tiffany Tahoe, and because of that, he's repeatedly being targeted, and he's not the only one. When you do not agree with this city girl mayor, this is what happens to you.
I'm suffering. They destroyed my trucking company. They shut my store down.
And he's not alone. Others in town are sharing similar stories of alleged retaliation for not supporting this suburban mayor.
It's a regular occurrence. She uses the police force to intimidate residents.
The Dalton Park District's director said in her case, the mayor objected to a car show on park property and shut down the event.
It felt like an abuse of power. She used her entire police force to come in and prevent something from happening because things didn't go her way, really.
And Stephanie here is talking about that car show. I spoke on that in my case study here, where I gave you 10 reasons why this Super City Girl Mayor was out of order. And one of them focused on that car show. Again, the guys over this car show, they have been putting on this event in the same area for 8 years. They paid their money, got the proper permits to do the event, but Tiffany Tahoe was jealous because she wanted to put on her own event at the same time, and she did not want people going to their event, so she sabotaged their event to ensure that she was the only one that would have an event that day.
Bosley got an unexpected call last Wednesday from Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top assistant,
saying that the show would be shut down, but if I move my event to her location on Greenwood, that I would be fine.
Did you take that as a threat?
Yes, I took that as bullying.
Sure enough, when Bosley showed up at the park Saturday morning, he found that giant concrete barricades had been placed at the entrance, and Dalton police were threatening to tow any cars that parked there.
We talking about two different governments. We're talking about the park government versus the village government.
Dalton Park District President Cleo Jones says Mayor Henyard has no legal authority over Park District property and believes she didn't want the competition to hurt attendance at her own event, a house music festival a few blocks away.
So I'm not sure what her tactics were other than
trying to bully us and push us away, but you know, that's not going to happen here.
It was totally out of order. If you missed that video, check out the link below.
Even village employees are now suing Dalton.
I filed the lawsuit because I am a victim of retaliation.
Eris Montgomery is Dalton's deputy village clerk. In her complaint, filed last May in federal court, she claims the board increased her pay to $60,000, but the mayor ordered not to implement the raise because the clerk didn't support Henyard politically.
People are walking on eggshells, so to speak. They're afraid to have an opinion about anything or to fulfill their duties.
And for all the feminists and misandrists in the sisterhood that's still trying to take up for their sister girl, the super city girl mayor, how was that even possible when you have all these black women that she's been harassing? Now we have to add Miss Montgomery to the list, the deputy clerk. It's just crazy how some of you don't want to criticize her because she's a black woman, but she's going around destroying black men and black women. Again, this community is like 91-92% black. So if you're really for black people, you would not be supporting her.
Since taking office in 2021, Henyard has repeatedly clashed with residents and fellow elected officials, even locking trustees out of Village Hall amid a dispute.
This is the second time she did this.
That was 2021. 2 years later, dysfunction is still the definition of a Dalton Village board meeting.
You the ones that's costing the village money. I don't have that call. All right. Okay.
What was she supposed to do? You wanted her to expound? Don't drag out the meeting.
I made a motion.
It took 30 minutes of yelling just to agree on the order of the night's agenda. Some residents say they are fed up.
Until this administration starts respecting us as citizens, I'll be damned if I'm going to respect them as an administration.
3.5 hours later, we had a quick chance to chat with the mayor.
At what point is this dysfunction a reflection on your leadership?
When I replace my board.
Yes, she just said that none of this is her fault. She's blaming it all on the board of trustees, and she says she won't take responsibility until the board is replaced. So she's trying to get rid of the board so that she will have a board of trustees that will allow her to do whatever she wants to do.
Whatever, I do what I want.
And for those of you that's been keeping up, you already see how she's been running the village. Basically running up a check and running around like she's Griselda Blanco. Can you imagine how it would be if she had no checks and balances at all?
Are you punishing your political opponents?
No, not at all. I'm a fear God person, God-fearing person, that I don't touch stuff like that. At all. I'm a fear God person, God-fearing person, that I don't touch stuff like that. I want people to know that I'm caring, I love what I do, I stay in the fire for them, and I bring products and produce things here in our community for them.
Her team said the mayor would not discuss any lawsuits or specific allegations of political targeting.
From my perspective, they're sort of kicking these cans down the road and not doing much to defend them.
Well, there you are.
Attorney Patrick Walsh represents Dalton's deputy clerk and another village employee, both of whom are suing the suburb, alleging they were victims of political retaliation.
We've had cases in other municipalities. It certainly happens, but not on this scale. They don't even take steps to try to hide it.
Gardner says he's also considering a lawsuit alleging the village illegally shut down his candy store.
I lost it all.
And his trucking business.
There's no freight. I just have a couple of friends that don't have anywhere to put their belongings, so I put the stuff in here to collect a couple of dollars to pay the rent.
Back in June, after Dalton had shut him down, Gardner's security cameras captured two people he insists were Mayor Henyard's henchmen.
Here it is. Here's the lock they cut.
The night of his arrest, Gardner asked if cops were the ones who cut his lock.
You know you shouldn't have cut that lock off and went in my property.
Oh yeah, and all those guys, they have her back. Why? Because she's been allowing them to commit payroll fraud. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody can work 303 hours in 2 weeks. And if you missed that story, the link is below. She's been using these guys to taunt all of these people, talking about she's doing work for the community. She's not doing anything but helping herself and stealing from the community.
You know you shouldn't have cut that lock off and went in my property. So you shouldn't have done that.
Again, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let it go. Nobody cut a lock off your property.
Okay.
All right.
But Gardner's not giving up or giving in.
And then when I call and try to find out, it's always, you have to talk to the mayor. You got to talk to the mayor. Well, the mayor never answered the phone. Nobody else can say anything.
Our story isn't over. One of the many things trustees and the mayor can't agree on is how tax dollars are being spent. Digging through the records, we found trips to Las Vegas, thousands spent on meals and more.
Super Mayor, hey, to me and
If you're late, don't worry, let me catch you up. Links to all the videos are below in the description. As I said in the first video, it's a lot more here. This town is nearly 92% black, and this is what a black mayor is doing to the black community. Shout out to the Dalton Board of Trustees for speaking out. Trustee Brown was featured in the last video. If you missed that video about how the mayor lied about not using the village's money for a trip to Vegas, watch that video next. The link is in the description. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. You now have lawsuits where the mayor is being accused of targeting village employees. What do you think is going to happen there? And then Mayor Teflon Tahoe said that she is not going to take accountability for anything until the Board of Trustees are all gone. So although she's causing all this mess and she's the one running the village, she won't accept any accountability for the dysfunction. Special thank you to Leon. I appreciate you, Leon, for all of your support, as well as Creed and Roosevelt. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
as you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?